Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, February 24th, 2014. The big British insurer Royal Sun Alliance is apparently considering raising capital. This is following the £200 million fraud hit it took in their Irish unit, as well as substantial losses from the UK flooding. The company said in a statement this morning that it, quote, is considering measures to strengthen its balance sheet, including raising capital by way of a rights issue, but it stressed that no decision had been made yet. The insurer is due to release its end-of-year results on Thursday. Meanwhile, London-listed reinsurer Hiscox said that it would distribute about $297 million US of surplus capital to shareholders after it reported a 12% increase in its 2013 profit. The Bermuda-headquartered Hiscox made a pre-tax profit of about £244 million for 2013, up from £217 million for 2012. This is all mainly as a result of a decrease in catastrophic claims. Net claims fell about 3.5%, down to £519 million. Bronek Masojeda, the CEO, said, "The insurance market still is currently facing many challenges, but thanks to our product distribution and geography, which should allow us to continue to deliver good results in a changing world, our long-term strategy seems to be working." Well, one thing that worked, and you have to give it to President Putin and the Russians, the Sochi Olympics ended last night without incident. There were no terrorist attacks, no bombings, nothing of the sort. So hats off to them. Meanwhile, in Florida, environmental officials say that cleanup crews up in Escambia County in the Panhandle have finally neutralized all of the corrosive acid that spilled into a creek when a CSX freight train derailed. About 30,000 gallons of phosphoric acid went into Escambia County Creek near the town of Molino when an Alabama-bound CSX freight train derailed back in January 28th. Yesterday, a 65-mile stretch of the Mississippi River, including the port of New Orleans, was closed to all water traffic as crews cleaned up an oil spill that spilled from a barge after it collided with a tugboat between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Officials don't know how much oil was spilled, but a sheen was reported on the river following the collision, which happened about 47 miles west of New Orleans. By yesterday afternoon, 16 vessels were waiting to go downriver, and 10 vessels were in a line waiting to go upriver. The port was opened sometime last evening. Both the Carnival Sunshine and the Norwegian Jewel cruise ships were, however, able to leave the port of New Orleans on Sunday to begin their scheduled cruises. Libya's oil production has fallen to 230,000 barrels of oil a day, down from 570,000. This is due to the closure of the el-Sharara oil field following protests. The Libyan National Oil Corporation said that they can no longer guarantee security at the site, which has an output of 330,000 barrels of oil a day. That's a very big hit. The el-Sharara site is run by CATEX, which is a joint venture between the Libyan oil company, the Spanish oil company Repsol, France's Total oil company, and Austria's OMV. There's another angle on oil that's playing out. You've read of the violence going on in Venezuela now. This is the successor to President Chavez, who is running into problems with his own opposition movement in Caracas. What is little known is, in fact, that Caracas supplies Cuba with 100,000 barrels of oil a day, gratis. It's part of a fraternal gift given by the Venezuelans to Fidel Castro. That oil is keeping the Cuban economy afloat, and the proceeds and the value to Havana is estimated at about $5 billion annually. If the current president of Venezuela, Maduro, is overthrown, it's likely that that oil transmission will be stopped and the Cubans will be in desperate shape. The second largest insurance company in Europe after Allianz is AXA. It's headquartered in France. They're looking for more acquisitions in emerging markets. This is after posting a 14% rise in full net income for 2013. Faced with low interest rates in the U.S. and Europe, AXA has sold some of its businesses in developed markets and spent about $7 billion US since 2010 on acquiring companies in China and Colombia. Many investors have fled high-growth emerging markets since the U.S. began tapering its bond buying last year. but Axel views the currency turmoil as a buying opportunity. The deputy CEO said one aspect of the depreciation in emerging market currencies is that it gives us new opportunities to invest in acquisitions and lower prices, and that's certainly what we've been looking at. Well, how quickly things change. There's apparently an arrest warrant that's been issued for ousted Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych. He's apparently last been seen in the Crimea, and it's expected that now he's somewhere in the eastern Ukraine, which is a pro-Russian group, a pro-Russian geographic area, I should say. According to sources, the new government that has been cobbled together, the coalition government, has in fact issued an arrest warrant against the former president for mass murder of peaceful civilians. The current coalition government said that they're ready for talks with Russia to try to improve relations, but they made clear that the European integration of the Ukraine is going to be the main thing they wish to do. But they're ready to deal with the Russians on an equal basis to develop some ongoing good relationship. However, they said our priority is the return to the path of European integration. 3 hours after releasing that statement, Russia recalled its ambassador to Kiev. President Putin is leaving no doubt about where he stands. That's the news for today. With any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.